Welcome to Group 2's fourth presentation, Ideas for a Mobile App. Group 2 consists of Deborah, Logan, and Jessica. What is our mobile app idea? Nowadays, with all the technology and advancements in smartphones, apps have become very useful and have allowed us to use our phones in so many ways. Just think, you are able to use your phone to access Facebook, play games, access your bank statements, and so on. So coming up with a new app can be tricky, but people are doing it. How about creating an app that would allow college students to be able to video stream class lectures over their smartphone devices? This would allow students to be able to watch class lectures on the go. How would you go about developing this app, marketing it, and evaluating the profit potential? These are all things you need to think about before coming up with your idea. How would you develop your app? There are many things you would need to think about when developing an app. You may think to yourself, I have many app ideas, but which one should I begin with? Nowadays, many successful entrepreneurs have built their businesses through multiple ideas, so make sure you don't limit yourself to a single app idea. When releasing an app, give each app 4 to 6 months after the launch, and if you don't see a growing user base, move on to the next idea. I have an app idea, but where do I start is the big question so many app developers have. Start by putting your idea down on paper as clearly as possible. Look for prototyping tools on the internet and create a detailed screen-by-screen mock-up or wireframe of your app. Once you're clear about your requirements, look for a company that can design and develop it for you, if you're not doing it by yourself. How do I know whether a customer will want my app? Getting your app on the market fast is key. Don't wait to create a complete app with all the features, and see if customers are ready to buy. Once they are, you'll get a lot of important feedback from your paying customers. Should I build a mobile website or a native app? There are close to 1 million apps each on iOS and Android app stores, and you're competing against the best to be seen and engaged with. Mobile websites don't offer any experience, nor do they add any value to the customer. Apps are to mobile what website is to a desktop. Should I build the app in-house or outsource? Some of the most popular products today were outsourced in their initial days. When creating the first instance of your product, keep the costs low and go with an outsourced provider that understands your requirements best. The most important thing at the moment is to get your product in the hands of the customer fast. Once you see a real demand for your product and continue to see traction, you can then take over the development and maintenance in-house. How do I submit an app to the Apple Store or Android Market? Create a developer account with Apple and Google by registering through their websites and paying the annual App Store fee of $99 for Apple and $25 for Google. The actual process of uploading to the App Store should be done by your developers. Should I offer my application as free and then figure out how to make money later? There's a 1 in a million chance, or probably less, that you could be the next Facebook or Twitter. The choice is yours. If you want to build a business, have a clear monetization strategy right from the get-go. I've built my app, now what? Products don't get sold on their own. You need to take them out of your 4 walls and place them into retailers' shelves. Then you have to tell people where to find them. You need to do the same with your app. While App Store optimization can help you a great deal in your ability to be discovered, it is not enough to get significant traction for your app to make it to a sustainable business. You need to market your app to get visibility. How do I market my app? Make it useful. No matter how well you market your mobile app, if it's not something people need, they aren't going to be interested. Your mobile app doesn't have to be just an extension of your website or another version of your online store that would be of interest to only your current customers. You can get creative and come up with something that will attract the general public and put your brand name in front of them. The best form of publicity for your application, as for any business, is third-party endorsements. Reviews from tech bloggers, press coverage, and word of mouth should be preferred avenues. It is important to keep these sustained if you begin to see traction. Also, pay keen attention to reviews posted by the users of your application and work doubly hard to reverse any negative reviews. Personally, I'm a fan of social advertising. It allows you to target people specifically by demographics and interest. So, if you know the most likely users of your mobile app, you can make sure that they are the only ones who can see and click on your ads. With Facebook ads, you can get pretty specific. Guest blogging is a great way to build an audience, as noted by Neil Patel in the latest Kissmetrics webinar about growing this blog to 350,000 readers. When it comes to marketing your mobile app, you can post on a variety of blogs. You can post on blogs related to the niche your target audience would most interested in reading, and you can also post on technology blogs about mobile devices. The key is to aim for blogs whose audiences would be most likely to download your app. While guest posts shouldn't be promotional, you can gear the topics in a way that, by the end of the post, the readers are ready to check out your mobile app. Plan ahead for those clicks by making your author bio as enticing as possible and by linking your app's page on your website, iTunes, or Google Play. Also use call to action wording such as download our mobile app today. Need assistance marketing your mobile app? There are agencies devoted to mobile app marketing, including the following. AppSpire.me specializes in getting your app the most quality users possible. Many of its clients went from a few downloads per day to hundreds. App&C is the global leader in mobile application marketing. It provides a full range of marketing services from branding to consultation services to managing your launch and long-term success with public relations, social marketing, paid media management, and more. Appuler has unrivaled marketing, PR, media buying, consulting, and social media services and solutions that are constructed exclusively to give your project the absolute best chance for long-term success. These are just a few of many. You can Google mobile app marketing agency to find even more. Should I create cross-platform apps? Cross-platform apps seldom offer rich experience to users. There's a reason why there are different coding languages for different platforms, which have their own software development kits. Such apps are often riddled with bugs and fail to offer consistent experience across platforms. How much does it cost to develop an app? It's like asking what it costs to buy a house or a car. The answer depends on many factors. Development costs can range anywhere between $3,000 to $100,000 or more, depending on the complexity and overall features involved. What if my app doesn't work? Most app ideas, just as business ideas, are crap. Successful people make terrible decisions all the time, but they also get back up with fresh learning from their failures and try something else. Move on to the next app idea if the current one does not get you results. How can you know if an app idea will be profitable? Well, you can't, but you can define its potential for profit. There are about 5 core components involved with a profitable app. 1 is the size of the target market. 2, your reach within the target market. 3, the conversion rate. 4, popular acceptance of the app. And 5, pricing or business model. Number 1, size of the target market is very important to be defined as precisely as possible. This involves demographical and mobile market data, such as total population of a designated market, gender ratio, age range, interest group or profession, platform devices, languages, available payment methods, and other things. Using the references here, you should be able to define most of these points on a combination of ballpark numbers and percentage point bases. Age range can be tricky, particularly with premium games for children requiring adults to purchase on their behalf. The size of your target market is itself very useful, at least for helping to define what is not likely to be profitable in the way of free and freemium apps. Number 2, your market reach will likely be much harder for you to define, as it will require you to know the demographics reached by your advertising venues. Further, you will need to approximate what portion of their audience you will be able to reach through your advertising, such as how many people in your defined target market will actually see your advertisements. Number 3, conversion rates are how many people reached by your advertising will proceed to purchase, install, use, and upgrade, and also make in-app purchases with your app. You want to track all of the conversions applicable to your app. Projecting these rates is difficult though. Your previous experience can be a useful guide. Alternately, factoring in extreme conversion rate, like 10 to 25% of what you would expect, plays it safe. You might also factor in how actively you will be watching and working to improve your conversion rates. Number 4, popularity. While there's a lot that you can do to influence the popularity of your app, a large portion of this will relate to the overall quality of the app and how competitive it is compared to similar apps. Getting a viral lift can propel an app's profitability into the stratosphere, but for as many times as that happens, it does not happen for 999 others. It's best to consider this as icing on the cake when making projections on an app's potential for profit. And number 5, pricing or business model, is whether you decide to go with a free, freemium, premium, or subscription model, and it will substantially define your profit potential. There are other factors to include here too: possible revenues from B2B arrangements, monetizations of surveys, or even whether you opt to produce your app via crowdfunding. Customer longevity should really be included as a 6th core point for the purpose of any but freemium apps. All of these points taken together can give you a reasonable approximation of an app's potential. The size of your target market, how many you can reach and then convert are your primary indicators, and can help you define the optimum business model. The basics of supply and demand are worth considering too. You might have a very small target market, for example, Canadian doctors and medical professionals. If your app is useful and interesting to them, that could push your app into a high-end premium or subscription payment model. These are our references. Thank you so much for watching our presentation. Have a great day!